Do you ever get exhausted by the quest to constantly find new leads for your business? What if I told you that you are probably already sitting on a gold mine of people who already know, like, and trust you and are far more likely to buy than all those new people that you are constantly desperately trying to get in front of? Through everything that you have done in your business and everything you did before you started your business, you have built a network of people. And so often what I see is businesses that are desperately trying to get in front of more people and grow a bigger network and be viral and be everywhere, but actually forgetting about that existing network that they don't have the time to nurture. But there really is gold dust in there. So today, I'm going to share with you 4 key tips to help you get more from your existing network so you don't feel that relentless push to generate new leads week in, week out in your business. So the first thing to think about is, who is the gold dust in your network? Now, let's bear in mind that you might think your network is people that you've met at networking events, people that you've got to know through LinkedIn, social media, that kind of stuff. Everybody that you've met through your business. But it's not just that. It's all the people that you worked with before you started your business. It's friends, family, acquaintances. It's all the people that you've ever met. All of these people are your network. Every group that you're a member of, every club that you attend regularly, all these people are your network. So what you really want to think about is digging into that network a little bit and be broader with who you consider your network. And if you can sit down and highlight from there 10 people who could be potential clients, possible introducers, or maybe even collaborators or strategic alliances in some way, shape, or form. So your network isn't just about instant business or clients. It's also about who you could collaborate with and who could introduce you to others. So your first step is to find 10 people within your network who you think there's some really good potential with. The obvious second step is to reach out to them. Now, this is also the area where a lot of people kind of say, I don't know how, I don't know what to say, I don't know what to do, I don't want to just sell to them. But really all you're looking to do is start a conversation. You're looking to just reconnect. One of my clients in particular actually generates the vast majority of her business through what she calls coffee chats. And these are just Zoom conversations with people who she hasn't seen or spoken to in quite a while. So get back in touch with those people. You might email them, you might WhatsApp them, you might send them a message through LinkedIn, whichever feels the most appropriate. And just suggest a conversation, suggest a call, suggest a Zoom meeting. If they're close by, suggest getting together for a coffee, but don't send them a message that just says, hey, here's what I do and here's how much it costs and can you remember me and would you like to buy my stuff? Just start to rebuild that conversation. That's tip number 2. Tip number 3 is then to build a really simple tracking system for this, because the big challenge is you will have loads of people in your network. Even if you don't think you have a big network, when you sit down and start to go through it, there'll be tons of people in there. So just build something like a simple spreadsheet. You might use a whiteboard, you might have a CRM system. It doesn't have to be complicated, but just keep a note of those key people, those gold dust potential people that you really want to rebuild that connection with. Keep a note of who they are, when you last contacted them, when you're next planning to contact them, and how you'd like to move things forward. So that's tip number 3. You need a really simple tracking system. Otherwise, this just falls into the nice to do category. And in 6 or 12 months, you'll still be sitting there saying, blooming heck, I should have booked a coffee with Bob last year. And then the final thing to do is to just make this a very light touch, simple habit in your diary every week. So book yourself a time slot. And you might have something like 30 minutes once a week to just get back in touch with 1 or 2 people out of your network. And then ideally you would put in an hour or so, once or twice a month, to actually have a proper Zoom call or a coffee chat with one of those people. So you're nurturing them, things are happening each week, but it's not taking a massive amount of time and effort. But what you're working on is quality, not quantity. You're working on depth of relationship rather than this crazy idea of brand awareness and going global and once a million people know about me, then I'll be a bazillionaire. Because we all know it doesn't quite work that way. So if you know you're sitting on a gold mine in your network, but you really need more help to build a strategy around that and work out exactly how to nurture that network so that it turns into opportunities and business, get in touch with me at tailory.co.uk and let's see how I can help.